Yeah, Whiplash. Like I said, Cooper Samuelson, who's not here today, he's the head of production. He found the script. And he thought it was terrific, and he gave it to me. I thought it was okay, and I said, we're never making this because it doesn't fit into what we do, contradicting everything I just said in this panel right now. And he very smartly, Jason Reitman is one of my favorite directors, and he knew a woman who worked for Jason. And he kind of slipped her the script, and she gave it to Jason, and Jason agreed to produce it, and he came hopping back in my office. He had just started for me, so now if he did this, it'd be very different. He has a lot of credibility built up, but at the time, he did not have a lot of credibility built up. And he came skipping into my office 6 or 8 weeks later. He said, what about if you got to produce this with Jason Reitman? And I was like, that I would love to do. Like that sounds great to me. And that was how it started. But then I really think Jeanette, I mean, one of the things I love about Whiplash is that that we had a lot of people on the movie who make our scary movies, who worked on the movie and won Oscars for the movie. You guys can talk about that more.
Yeah, I mean, the momentum that happened from the short film going to Sundance and then triggering it into doing the feature film got a lot of the crew interested in doing it because they saw a clip of the vision of it from the short. And we did it for $3 million and made LA look like New York. And we literally shot in a few locations where you're turning one direction and you're seeing one set, and there's a flat, and you turn to the other direction and it's a completely different set on the other side. So our production designer, Melanie Jones, she did The Purge for us and a bunch of other things, really wrapped her head around how to do this on a dime and make it look like New York. And
that's kind of maybe that's a good way to close this out, but it's a good, and talking about partners and starting out, and I didn't understand this when I was starting out, but the reason. Well, first of all, Whiplash is a terrific movie because of Damien Chazelle, who wrote and directed the movie. That's why it's an amazing movie. But he had a lot of help from a company that does a ton of movies and has a ton of experience. So for $3 million, and we would never have $3 million even we were lucky to get that much. He was able to put a ton on screen. He was able to work, with the producer who he worked with, and I think there's a lot to be said. I was very reluctant to do this, but I think there's a lot to be said when you're starting out as a producer to start your project with another producer, as opposed to starting with a financier or an actor or a director. Start with a producer who's established. I think every single movie that we've done, we've worked with outside producers on, which is another reason why we're able to do as much as we do. And I think in terms of your guys' thinking, I think if your first stop is a producer who's got a bunch of credits under their belt, your start would be certainly a lot easier than mine was.
And my contribution to Whiplash was I hired Damien Chazelle when he was working as a math tutor to write The Last Exorcism Part 2. And he took that money and made the short film of Whiplash. So in a way, I paid for your Oscar.
Yes. Really.